Uh,
Big ball, fat, making my end. Fucking big killer, hot. Big ball, fat.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? What's going on, man? You guys already know who it is, man. It's your boy, Sports God TV, where we talk sports like religion. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. Click that notification bell so you could get notified when I upload. Share the content, jump in the comments. Let's get it cracking. So, Terence Bud Crawford, was undisputed, Terence Bud Crawford said, and I quote, "I done heard it all," tweeting at Errol Spence. It's okay though, because all in all, I'm glad it's over and done with. I wish you well, my brother. Let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about it. So, Errol Spence Jr., the truth, man down, the big fish, strap season, 28 wins, 1 loss, 22 wins by way of knockout. And then Terence Bud Crawford, 40 wins, 0 losses, 31 big wins by way of knockout. Obviously had a fight, an undisputed fight in the welterweight division, 147 pounds to be exact, right? July 2023. It had reportedly sold over 700,000 pay-per-view buys. It generated over $59 million in revenue. It also generated over $20 million in ticket sales. It was built to be the biggest fight in the last decade or so, you know, since the Marvin Haglers and Sugar Ray Leonards and Durans and Tommy Hearns and all of those great fighters, right? And there was also an immediate rematch clause within the contract so that we understand for whichever fighter had lost that fight. The fight didn't obviously go like people thought. It was generated, it was buzzing around the what if factor. It was a straight 50-50 fight on paper, right? You got Bud coming in rocking with Eminem, Lose Yourself. Palms are sweaty. Knees weak, arms heavy. It's bombing on the sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. He's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting. Yeah, Bud came out like that. And that pretty much just set the tone, man. I mean, he dropped him, Errol Spence, in the second round. Came over the top with a counter when Errol did a 1-2 up high, down low to the body. Pretty slow jab combination. Bud was on point. Sparked him. That was the first drop. He ended up dropping Errol 3 times in that fight. And they ended up stopping that fight in the 9th round. Me personally, I was rooting for Errol Spence. I thought Errol Spence, you know, he did a lot of the heavyweight lifting there in the welterweight division. But at the same time, and he stuck to his word that he said he wanted to clean up his side of the street. The other dude, meaning Terence Crawford, can meet me, clean up his side, and we'll meet in the middle. I respect Errol Spence Jr. For taking that stance and giving us, the people, the fight that the world wanted to see. But competitively, Terence Crawford was sharper. He was smarter. He was stronger. He was faster. He was more instinctive. He was everything on that night in the ring. And they end up, like I said, stopping the fight in the 9th round. And I believe Bud Crawford took his foot off the gas. Now, there was a lot of speculations, and even I speculated to a certain degree, considering that I watched Errol Spence fight. And mind you, let me keep this in mind. I'm a fan of Bud Crawford as well. Everyone that Terence Bud Crawford has fought, I rooted for Terence Bud Crawford. Only in this fight where obviously it was a 50-50 split on paper, I went with Errol. I just, like Errol Spence Jr. as well. But Terence Bud Crawford, there was a lot of speculation. I speculated myself that something was going on with Errol Spence in that fight. He just didn't look like himself, considering how I watch him fight. But Bud said it before the fight even happened, that when I beat him, there are going to be a lot of excuses coming out from everywhere. At first, there wasn't no excuses. Errol Spence, after the fight, being a stand-up guy that he is, because I've seen some fighters do it in the past when they get their ass beat in the ring in a big fight. Some may not answer Jim Gray's questions if he's the one asking the questions after the fight. Some of them will skip that part. Some of them will duck the presser and don't even show up at the presser. Someone won't even acknowledge the fact that the man that beat him that night was just better than him. I respect Errol. I tip my hat off to Errol for not only answering the questions of Jim Gray's in the ring like a man. I respect the fact that he went to the presser with no glasses on, answered all of the questions, dapped up Terence Bud Crawford, acknowledged that he was the better man in the ring that night, and also just said, let's do it again. Here we are in 24. Errol Spence revealed on Instagram or Twitter, basically revealing that he just had cataract surgery. Now, we know Errol Spence was in a crazy car accident, and he survived. We know that he had a detached retina, but he surprised the boxing world with revealing that he had cataract surgeries. And then, after giving all the praise and acknowledging that Terence Bud Crawford was better than him that night, Errol had mentioned that that's the reason why he got hit with so many jabs and so many hooks, which kind of sounds like an excuse. And then you had reports of him training in the high altitude on a mountain there in Vegas a week before the fight. So he potentially had altitude sickness, which I never heard of, but, And then there was another report that he had a broken rib. Bud refuted that with saying that our eyes get checked before every fight. If every boxer knows that, but a casual fan will not. Terence put out a tweet basically saying, I'm going to give you guys one more because you guys, I'm paraphrasing, you guys just don't see greatness when greatness is right in front of you, So he's giving like an indication that, he's tired of, the excuses. He feel like he never gets his credit when it's due. Bud is a warrior. Bud is a dog. We all know that. He's proven that. But he's looking for bigger fights. It's just a way to, kind of boost the fight. People would love to see the rematch. Some people, me being one, at 154. But when all these reports were coming out from Errol Spence and his team, or from whomever that's close to Errol Spence, then Bud had said that, so if it ain't the weight, then we're going to rematch it at 147, because the weight wasn't an issue. It wasn't mentioned. It was all the other things, the broken ribs, the weight, the altitude sickness, and now the cataract surgery. But Terence Bud Crawford has some options. I know he's obligated to the rematch clause, but, Bud could go up to 154 and go after Tim Tszyu. He could stay down at 147 and fight the likes of a Jerron Boots Ennis, which they have had words back and forth via Twitter, social media, period. And Bud said to Ennis, to Jerron Boots Ennis and his team, basically, you had multiple opportunities to fight me. And then Ennis responded with basically, send the contract again and I'll sign it. He also can go up to 168 and try his hand with Canelo Alvarez. Alvarez is not really entertaining that. He said basically they're weight classes for a reason. But in some pictures, you see Terence Bud Crawford carrying weight. He obviously can deadlift 400 and something plus pounds. I don't know how many plates that was on there, but Terence Bud Crawford is a wrestler. He's an athlete, put it like that. I believe whatever he decides he wants to do, he can do it. He has proven it. But all in all, will this fight happen again? And if it does the results be the same? If it's true that Errol had a broken rib, which might explain when Bud was hitting him in his body, that Errol's face looked the way it did. I never really seen anybody go to Errol Spence's body as well. And I remember watching the fight, I said that's exactly what I would do to Errol because nobody does it, which is hit him with nice body shots. And Terence did that, and they were effective. Will this fight happen? Do you guys see a different result in that fight? Would you like to see Terence Bud Crawford go up and fight a Tim Tszyu, a Canelo Alvarez, or even fight Jerron Boots Ennis? All in all, Bud trying to get paid, 36 years old, accomplished everything in the sport of boxing that he could, 2-time undisputed champion. It's all about the paper, baby. It's your boy, Sports God TV, where we talk sports like religion, and I'm out. Until next time.